Welcome to the Yo Brother Podcast with hosts Dan and Mike Smith. Welcome back to another first look with the Yo Brother Podcast. Mike, we are doing Expendables 4. I don't know, when did Expendables 3 come out?
It's been a while.
I think I own it. I have one or two. I actually think maybe no longer, but I had them on physical media, believe it or not, but I've trimmed that down, as you know. Now, Expendables 4 is due out September 22nd, 2023. It stars one of my all-time favorites, as you know. I love this guy, no matter what he puts out, but that would be, of course, the great one and only Sly Stallone. We go way back.
He's working a lot.
He is. I just saw an interview with him. He was on the Sherry Shepherd show. She was on The View, I think, at one point or something. And she was interviewing him, and they were talking about his reality show with his family. His wife and daughters.
With his girls.
Yeah, and he kind of said, as he was talking about why now, like why he said, I'm actually like doing really well right now. Like things are booming, and he thought it might be an interesting time because he said usually it's like you're at the end of your career and you do a reality show, whatever.
Why did you decide to do?
Because they're so wonderful, and we have this very interesting relationship at home where everyone like yells at me, and but it's funny because I yell back, it's back and forth, and it's all done in pretty good, with mostly humor, but definitely love. And I thought, usually when people do reality shows, they go, oh, you're kind of like the end of your career and this and that. And I thought, things are really booming. Why don't I do it now while I'm feeling somewhat relevant, somewhat active, and
But he thought it was a different slant on it. And he said it's pretty genuine. It's what you see is what you get type of thing.
It's a shame the whole Rocky scenario, like the fact that he's not in Creed 3.
But he said, in fact, in that same interview, he says, how many times is this guy going to come back? It's it's played out. It's done.
At the end of the second one, I'm looking at him kind of teary, go, now it's your time?
Yeah.
And I decided that should be my farewell. I thought if I showed up in the third one, go, hey, how many farewells are you going to have, pal? Like, get lost already. So it was his time.
I agree. Like Rocky 5 isn't even in the new 4K set.
Right.
They just dumped it because, that was definitely the weakest of the 5.
This must be, let's see. Okay, so Expendables 3 came out in 2014. Holy moly.
Wow.
So that's amazing.
It's 9 years.
Sly is still at it, doing it.
I know.
It's amazing. So, all right, let's enough with the jibber jabber. Let's get to checking out this trailer for Expendables. I like how they've done the Expendables, like the A in Expendables is a 4. They're trying to be cute with the marketing. All right, here we go.
Let's fly, baby! Bring it!
Welcome home, honey.
Do you read now?
What is this?
It's classified.
Coming with you.
Oh, I'm sorry. You weren't invited.
Oh.
Nothing can stop me, I can't get enough. Playing with danger is bad behavior. Bad behavior. They call it bad behavior.
Hey, why are you here?
I got this situation where I need your help.
I need bad friends.
Was that the new guy?
Is that sniper?
Don't worry about it. I got a prescription scope.
Well, Hawkeyes, remember this face. Don't shoot it by accident.
Terrorists have taken possession of nuclear missiles on a cargo ship off the coast. If these babies go off, it'll be World War III.
Take cover!
To choose this life over friends, over family.
It's time to get loud.
Let's fly, baby! Come on, bring it!
Now that's what I'm talking about.
the biggest one you've got?
Oh, it's way bigger than that.
I guess a lot of the actors from previous Expendables were expendable.
And see, I don't even remember who was in the other
Harrison
Expendables.
Ford.
Well,
Mel
what
Gibson.
Was he in like Harrison Ford was in Expendables?
He was in one of them. Yeah, I don't know if it was the
for
last
probably
one or the
5 minutes.
Oh, he was an expendable. A lot of people have, like people rehabilitated, like Mel Gibson. That was kind of like, hey, here's an olive branch because, Hollywood was down on him.
What are your first impressions of that?
It looked like too much Megan Fox.
Well, but it's Megan Fox. Of course,
yeah. I mean, you can't
her
have
at
too
the
much
forefront,
Megan Fox.
But you got Statham. 50 Cent. 50 Cent is in it.
Did I see Andy Garcia?
You did see Andy Garcia. Yeah. Now Dolph Lundgren returns. Of course, Dolph Lundgren and Sly go way, way back to Rocky IV, which I was watching an interview with Dolph Lundgren actually just the other day, which is kind of coincidental. Yeah.
You tripped. You fell on the remote.
I was watching these. I've been watching these clips of Arnold because I told you there's a new series on Arnold on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
And on Arnold's YouTube channel, there's some clips of him working out at Gold's Gym out in California, this famous Gold's Gym outside, where, of course, he did back in the Pumping Iron days and everything.
Yes.
And Dolph Lundgren was one of the, of course, at that time, guys that went to that gym. Of course, Stallone was there and all of that training for Rambo and everything. But, Lundgren was, I think he had a kickboxing career, right? That was what he was doing at that time, I believe. But he and Sly had a pretty contentious relationship through the years, I guess.
Really?
Yeah. There was
recently there was talk of making a movie on what was the name of his character in Rocky?
Drago.
There was going to be a Drago movie.
Yeah.
And Stallone, because he's fighting with trying to get rights back to Rocky, he was furious and called him up.
Well,
but I guess they were all good.
They're all good, yeah. And he talks about that in this in-depth interview. In fact, he was talking about Expendables, and I guess Sly called him out on Expendables in front of everybody. And Dolph, up to that point, it kind of Sly was his boss. He looked up to him, he respected him, he did what he told him to do. But he kind of had enough.
Yeah.
At this point, and they got into a little thing, and later on he says that Sly, came up to him, apologized, whatever, they're fine. But
yeah,
it was a lot of back and forth over the years with those guys.
What was he calling them out on Expendables for?
Just something with the scene they were filming, and and it sounded like Sly.
Was it on the set?
It was on the set in front of everybody, and
I'd like to see that.
Kind of embarrassing and stuff. Well, I don't know that it was captured.
Oh, you've heard this? Okay,
I heard it from Dolph Lundgren in the interview. Yeah. So, but he I guess he went up to somebody on the set and said, if he says one more thing about this, he said, I'm just going to knock him out. That's what Dolph said, and I'm sure he could have.
Probably.
He was very harsh on me in the scene in Expendables 1, where he kind of yelled at me in front of the whole crew, and had me do about 20 takes on the scene. And there was press there that day too, international press, to a point where I called my wife at the time, and I basically just told her, if he says one more word, I'm going to knock him out, and this movie, I'm out of here.
Yeah, he's a massive guy.
Stallone's all of what, 5'7"?
Somewhere in that range, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
They got to be similar in age, but I would think Dolph is younger than Sly by a handful of years, probably.
I would think so.
Tony Jaa, who was in that, the guy like doing all the martial arts and stuff. I don't know of him, but he's obviously very prominent in the film. You mentioned Andy Garcia was in there, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Has he been in it before? I don't even remember.
No, I don't think
Randy
so.
Couture, famous from,
Yeah, he's like a
UFC.
UFC guy.
Yeah. We mentioned Megan Fox, of course, and then a handful of other people that I don't necessarily recognize.
And Statham's the only one that, like, Mickey Rourke was in it at one point. Statham's been in all of them, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think he has. Yeah, and he looks good. He's getting along pretty well. So I don't know. I mean, it's Sly. I'm sure it's going to be great action, but I I think I tapped out after the second one. I got to go and watch the third one before, because I'll check this one out. Would say it's probably one that would be more enjoyable on the big screen, but
yeah,
I don't know that I'll be going to the big screen to see it. I'll be going
Certainly
to my
not,
big screen.
Certainly not opening weekend, and it might only last one weekend and then be on DVD. But yeah, I think I tapped out before.
But you own all three.
I own them because I bought them for Dad.
Well, all right, Expendables 4. It comes out September 22nd, but that's going to do it for another First Look with the Old Brother podcast. Been your host, Dan Smith. Alongside me, as always, my brother from the same mother, Mike Smith. And we will see you next time.
Bye, everyone.